Hello, my name is Alexandra, and today I will present you solution and analysis for Agile organization at INGBank Netherlands. The best place to start with a small and short Six Sigma analysis of the department in the Netherlands to better understand their situation in that period of time. The first step is to identify the problem and their causes, such as the 2008 crisis, consumer dissatisfaction, and the large cost of money for all processes. Measurement. This problem contains many operations that require a large number of personnel and money that company could spend on improving other projects or areas. Analysis. What exactly are the actions that lead to this problem, and how can the company solve it? Will the decisions that have been already made help and improve the situation? Improvement. The first trial run was the IT department, and this attempt was successful. After analyzing the success, the company can apply the same method to the entire department. And control. Carefully monitor everything that happens and in what direction it moves. If something goes wrong or there is a new opportunity to improve something, the manager changes the plan. Based on the analysis above, it is worth emphasizing why the company decided to change the process system from waterfall to agile. The main reason was the crisis of 2008, which led to the desire to reduce the number of costs for operations and their total number. The first attempt in IT department was successful, and that period SEO decided to move all department to agile methods. How did the transaction from waterfall to agile happen? As mentioned earlier, not the best indicator of customer satisfaction, and the large number of operations and costs stimulated the general manager to start changes in the company. This was stage number one, so to speak, to unfreeze the problem and the system for the further changes. The second stage is the changes themselves in the structure, processes, and methods, such as action in the transaction from the waterfall method to agile, a more independent structure where one employee is responsible not just for process but plays a separate role in the company. Firing old employees, hiring new ones, partial training, and a complete change in processes. The third stage is the freezing of the new structure. New rules have been introduced. Now the company can continue to work calmly with the new methodology and monitor the improvement performance. Now I want to list the main difficulties which ING department in the Netherlands meted during the shift to agile methodology, such as fire all staff, then high cost for hiring new staff, difficult adaptive period, heavy bureaucracy, house in early stage. The first time after the changes in the structure of work in the department, there will be a mess and confusions. Most employees may not like such changes, and the department will have to look for the new employees, which will also entail additional expenses. At first, as the company changes the way employees are controlled, it will be difficult for people to understand their job and what they need to do. Also, some employees can be afraid because of freedom and big responsibility for their actions. Possible repetitive work and loss of time. Since this company is a bank, the bureaucracy cannot go anywhere. But with the agile system, it only increased. Since in this system, employees have much more freedom and responsibility, they must write more reports on the work done, as well as the report is their coach. So how can Agile make things better? Briefly on the main points. Unexpected problems are equal to unexpected improvements. Hiring people to work with the team increases motivation and effectiveness. Information circulates faster between whole department, and reduction in number of processes leads to reduction in employees and cost of salaries. So department decided to shift from the centralized to centralized system, with their three main groups, such as attracting customer, taking care of customer after they had been attracted, and customer identification. The pros of this is more creative and possible solution to unexpected problems. The first period after the transition, the company's weaknesses will appear, but if we will look on this from the other side, new space for ideas and improvements. Cons is possible confusions between workers and doing the same job several times, as already been mentioned before. Favorable environment. Choosing new staff with the team will increase team friendliness and spirit. A favorable environment improves the overall desire to work and increases motivation. Also, in a well-chosen team, healthy competition appears, which also increases work efficiency. From the pros, increased motivation and work efficiency. Cons are a higher period of hiring, a person, and possible incompetences of the group in terms of requirement. Formal communication network, shifting from single-stand network to all-channel or open network. Communication has become much faster and more convenient. There is no strict hierarchy, and how there is no need to wait a lot of time until the information gets from one department along the chain to another or the chief manager. Reduction of the processes. ING decided to reduce the number of general transactions within the system, which leads to each operation does not need a separate employee, and when the number of operations decrease, the number of employees also decrease. So it means that less workers are less money for salaries. But most probably the salary for one employee will increase, but the total amount of money for salaries decrease. Results. The first one is increase on customer satisfaction from -9% to +20%, which is really important index for analysis. Also, it is increase the total index of effectiveness, such really will enable indicators. It means that now employees doing much more from their current plans, but they are still ambitional enough to create new challenges for themselves. The next points are not so optimistic. Increasing in consumption income RIO means that now companies' expenses increase, which is not so pleasant to hear and report to the main chief. Is bad or it is okay? It is important to understand all data which we have in our case is in period about a year after introducing Agile to the department. It spent a lot of money to move Agile to Agile methodology. Budget needs some years to recover. But what is really important is that satisfaction of customers increased, and most probably it will bring to the bank new customers. So it is need just a couple of time. A little of time. So next step, what the department should do next? We have three possible ways, but the most profitable will be and successful will be business banking. But why? So it's important to understand that since it's 2016 and we don't know all the excess consequences, doesn't make sense to go to the biggest banks market because consequences can be not so positive as head manager predicted. Why not call center? Because starting your work in a place where people are not ready to change the structure also make little sense. As it was mentioned in the case, if people are not ready for Agile, it will create a total chaos. And the last one, why business is banking? Agile can be tried in a completely different area and traced how it is effective. Also, apart from other areas of activity, this department is not so big. It should be mentioned that this is a customer service department, which is a good environment for creativity and Agile. Thank you for your attention.